my lovely friends out there. I I just had a couple of things on my mind that I wanted to talk about. Um, First of all, I hope everyone had a very amazing and awesome and firecracking 4th of July. We had a fantastic show where I live. I think our neighbors had a competition to see who could shoot off the biggest, brightest, biggest, most obnoxious fireworks. Because there was like at least 6 different shows in my neighborhood. And I wish I was joking. It was quite intense. But me and my mom, she came out to visit us for the weekend, and we had fun. We had a blast. She doesn't really live in town. She lives about an hour and a half north of where we are. So it's not like, down the street, come out and hang out and then leave, and be home within like 10 minutes or whatever. So she had to stay with us. And, it was nice to have her here. I hadn't seen her in a couple of months. And I'd say we had a falling out, but we didn't really have a falling out. It was more of my therapy was getting very, very, very intense. And I could not stand the thought of talking to my mom for a while. And my therapist even told me, don't talk to her because it'll start off triggers. And you need to be here with me so we can work through those triggers. So I said, okay. And at the same time of these triggers, my mom was about to have a knee replacement surgery. And I couldn't be there for her when she had her surgery. And that was probably one of the biggest things that's ever happened between me and her, other than the passing of my dad. But it was really hard to be in a different area than her when she's supposed to have knee surgery and I'm going through therapy. Very difficult. And she wasn't exactly fond of the idea that I could not talk to her. And I told her, I said, I will come to you when I'm ready. That's probably the biggest takeaway that I have for you all is whenever you go through therapy and a certain someone sets off triggers for you and it gets so intense to the point where you just can't stand the thought of them or even to look at them, keep your distance. Keep your distance. Tell them that I will let you know when I'm ready to talk. Whether it's a couple of days, weeks, months, years, whatever. Just let them know I'll come to you whenever I'm ready. Now, don't do it like in a belligerent way, like, oh, how dare you? I'm not going to talk to you for weeks on end, Nothing like that. Just politely and respectfully tell them, I'm sorry, I cannot talk to you right now. Give me some time and I'll let you know when I'm ready. Simple as that. And it helps. Tremendously. It helps because that's what I had to do. Was it easy? No. That's probably one of the hardest things not the hardest, but one of the hardest things that we've ever had to get over. And it was not the easiest thing for me to do, be torn between her surgery and my therapy, but my therapy is a little bit more important than her surgery because she had my uncle there for her and my brother. So, whereas I have a family here, I can't drop everything at my job and go be with her for a day and then come back home or for 2 days or whatever. So it was more like, I'm sorry, Mom, I can't. I have a life here. I have my family. I have a job. I can't just drop and go. Now if it was like 5 years ago or whatever, then yeah, I could have done that. No problem. I'd take time off of work and then just go up there and spend a couple of days with her and come home. But I have a family. So I couldn't go and, be with her. So that was probably not easy for her either. Whenever my brother told me when her surgery date was, I panicked. And I thought, oh my God, what am I going to do? And I'm thinking, I'm like, I can't go. I can't. There's no way I can't go. And then my brother was like, oh, by the way, Mom doesn't want you there. I'm like, oh, thank God. Okay. That was a relief off of my shoulders, because that's what I wanted to hear him say. And as terrible as that sounds, it was actually a relief, because that means I could go back to my sessions and I could properly process whatever triggers I needed to get off of my shoulders. When I mean triggers, I mean memories that have a negative effect on me. And whenever I think about that memory, I burst into tears, hurt tears, like this destroyed me kind of tears. And whenever I think about that memory now, it doesn't hurt. I think of something else. And my very, very first process that I made, or that I did, was, I'm not going to tell you the situation, but the outcome was I was a flower. Inside, I'm a flower. So, new life. Just the gist of what was going on. New life, I'm a flower. So, yeah, therapy is very, very important in anyone's life, for anyone who's dealing with any kind of issues. I strongly suggest anybody to go through it. And yes, it could be costly if you don't have insurance. I understand that. I get that. And some don't have insurance, or you don't want to do something like that. That's fine. You can always talk to literally anybody. Whoever you trust and confide in. That's most important. I am still trying to support To Write Love on Her Arms organization. And I don't know if, any of you guys will be listening to this here in a couple of months. But I'd really, really encourage you guys to look into them. They're really, really important people. And they help folks like us who struggle with life. I took a couple of days off from work for me to reflect and to gather my thoughts about my life and my kids. And I'm glad I'm doing this. I didn't realize how much I rely on other people when I should be relying on, my family. My kids are my everything. I think every parent out there would say the same thing. If it wasn't for my kids, I would be nothing. Although my mom would think otherwise, and so would my husband, but my kids are my life. As much as they drive me up the wall, and they get into everything and fight and argue all the time and make a huge mess, they're my life. They bring me joy. And therapy is for my mental stability, for me to get over my past, my childhood, whatever trauma I went through. It's because of that I'm going through therapy, not because of what I deal with at home now, not because of the chaos at home now. It is strictly only for my trauma that I grew up with. Let me just make that clear. My life now, it's wonderful. I have nothing to complain about. I mean, other than, economy and war and the rate of suicide. That's not great. I could be better. Everyone, I know everyone can't be happy all the time. Don't get me wrong. I understand that. But there is hope. There's hope. And there's love. And come on, let's face it. Love is pretty damn important. Whether it's from your friends, your little critters, your family, anybody. Love is very, 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 very important. And that's something that my dad showed me when I was little. It'll be, I think it'll be 8 years in August since he's passed. It's getting closer and closer and closer to his anniversary. And this is the time frame that really hurts. I mean, it was like the end of August when he passed, but this time frame between 4th of July and his anniversary, for whatever reason, that month long or a little over a month is when it gets hard for me. I have more down days during these days than I do normally. Being medicated, it helps. Therapy, it helps. But grieving, that's a lifelong thing. It gets easier. Yeah, I'll admit that it does get easier, but doesn't mean I'm not going to cry occasionally or have a breakdown or just scream out, Dad, I miss you. Because I do. I'll always be his little girl, no matter how little often I saw him my teenage years. Most definitely in my 20s, because I hardly ever see him in my 20s. And unfortunately, it was about a year after me and my husband got married is whenever my dad got sick and passed on. I'll share that story later, but yeah, it's hard. And on top of that, I've had other family members pass on. My aunt, no, my aunt's okay. My uncle, my grandma, my dad, a very, 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 very close friend of me and my husband's, a guy I used to work with, just to name a few. So, anyway, I just randomly wanted to record this because it was on my mind to wish everyone a very happy 4th of July, even though it was yesterday or 2 days ago, whenever I post this. And to let you guys know that, love on everybody. Love is the key. And hope. Have faith. Believe in yourself. Strongly believe in yourself that you can overcome anything and everything. And it's okay to cry. That is perfectly fine to cry. Trust me, I have my days too. And I'm pretty sure, sometime today or tomorrow, I'll burst into tears because you feel that building up. And whenever it builds up, you're like, oh my God, when am I going to do this? When am I going to cry? And when is it going to happen? And it just happens and there's no stopping it. And I know mine is coming up because I feel it. It's like a sensation of anxiety. You feel really, 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 really sad all of a sudden. And you just wait for something to trigger it. And then you burst. That's what mine do. I wait for something to trigger it. And then I burst. So it'll probably be tomorrow. So, but anyway, I am going to get off of here, be with my kids because they should be waking up from their naps. And I will see if I can get on here tomorrow and read another chapter. I don't even know if you guys are enjoying that book that I'm reading, honestly. It's not normally a book that I read, but it looked interesting. It sounded interesting, So you guys let me know what you think about the Curse of Thorns and the Shadows, or whatever the title is. I just know the characters caught my attention. That's all I know. It's very different, and I like to branch out and try different things. So, all right, I'm going to get off of here. And you all lovelies, enjoy yourselves. And I will get back on here later at a different time. All right. Toodles.